Healthy food choices during childhood and teen years help to lay the foundation for good habits and optimal health in adulthood. And like adults, children require a well-rounded diet for proper development, of which include many diverse foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, protein, and dairy foods, while providing adequate calories to fuel growth and, of course, higher levels of activity that we know kids hopefully should have.
Right, and children in the U.S. tend to underconsume calcium, vitamin D, potassium, and fiber, similar to adults, while exceeding the recommended intakes for sodium, saturated fat, and added sugar. And while essential in all stages of life, calcium and vitamin D have a uniquely critical role during those developing years to make sure they have strong, dense bones for the future.
And I think a lot of times when we think about how much calcium should our kids be eating per day, it is important to remember that kids ages 9 to 18 should have 3 servings of dairies per day. Now, this could be anywhere from an 8 ounce or 1 cup serving of milk or yogurt, 1.5 ounces of cheese, and of course, looking for vitamin D fortified sources of dairy is going to be a great way to get that calcium and vitamin D paired together. Or you could serve up fortified cereals, fish with bones if your kids are into that, and of course mushrooms that are exposed to UV light, and eggs are going to be another good source of that vitamin D.
Right. And fruits and vegetables, we know they contribute vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and fiber, and studies show that increased fruit and vegetable consumption is associated with lower rates of obesity, cardiovascular disease, and better overall health. So adolescent girls should consume at least 1.5 cups of fruit and 2.5 cups of vegetables. For boys, it's about 2 cups of fruit and 3 cups of vegetables. But nationally, only 7% meet that requirement for fruits and 2% meet the recommended intake for vegetables.
And what we know is that although kids can be a little bit pickier, the likelihood that you might not increase those amounts in adulthood is what is going to make us at risk for those disease states. So, of course, for overall health, focus on consuming a variety of different types of colors of fruits and vegetables to balance out nutrients. Look for conveniently packaged fruits and vegetables with no added sugar, like canned fruit and 100% juice, frozen fruits for smoothies, and try to incorporate vegetables regularly, especially at family mealtime, and make sure you're eating those vegetables that you want to make sure your kids are eating as well.
Sneaking them in, finding tips for kind of making them more palatable to children. And in childhood, added sugars accounts for about 11 to 15% of total calories, and it is about 32% that comes from added sugars during adolescence. So increased sugar-sweetened beverage intake we know is associated with higher rates of obesity and other chronic diseases, as well as poor dental health. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends limiting added sugar intake to no more than 10% of total calories, which is less than a 20-ounce bottle of soda, actually. So look for those choices with no added sugars.
Yeah, I think, too, the beverage is one of the easiest places, incorporating more hydration and trying to stay away from those added sugars. And to help reduce sugar intake, focus on things like water, seltzer. Of course, you can do unsweetened milk options. Keep in mind, if your child cannot do traditional dairy, you can also do fortified soy milk, or 100% fruit juice is only recommended to be consumed in about a 1/2 cup serving, but that could be another alternative to some of those sugar-sweetened beverages.
And you can dilute something like that too. Aiming to encourage good food choices at an early age helps to set the stage for maintaining good health across the lifespan. So to find more tips on eating well and recipe inspiration perfect for back-to-school season, visit foodcity.com.